Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back once again for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is familiar face to the podcast. Had him on last season when he was representing Morehead State. Now you see that Eastern Illinois hoodie that he's wearing. Going to be doing what he does best for the Panthers next season. One of the top defensive backs at the FCS level over the past couple seasons, Jihad McCall. What's going on, man?
So thank you for having me again.
Absolutely, man. Always happy to have you on. You did great last time. Always fun to have good personalities on for interviews on the podcast, and definitely excited to have you on once again. And a couple changes from last time I had you on. Now I got some segments that I do, make it a little bit more professional, try to be like the pros. And the first segment that I'm doing is called Rewind and Recap. Going to rewind the clock and tell people just how awesome you are about your career. 5 years at the college level, all playing for Morehead State, developing your game, and it has really shown over the past few years. 2023 alone, you ended up leading the Pioneer League in interceptions with, I believe, seven it was, and ended up being named All Pioneer second team in 2023 as well. And then this past season, you were a big time threat on defense for your team, recorded career highs in tackles, pass deflections, and a whole lot of other stats that we go on and on about, but definitely had a breakout couple of seasons, and now you're looking to continue that in 2025 for the Panthers. But I want to go on ahead and get into the questions and ask you this first one here. Last time I had you on, you were coming off of that 2023 breakout season, and you continued to produce this past year in 2024. How would you say you were able to find more ways to produce at an even higher level this past season after breaking out so high in 2023?
I knew coming into last season that like a lot of teams would know who I am because of the season I had before. So I know that they probably would shy away from me or game plan around me. So I just knew I had to like improve myself in other areas than just getting interceptions. So I knew I had to become a better leader, knowing the defense better, becoming a better tackler, just helping my team out in other scenarios and other ways than just catching interceptions.
Yeah, and in 2023, it was you and one of your other teammates both had seven interceptions alone. This year, you guys had a lot of players on the defense for Morehead State, where you guys were getting multiple interceptions throughout the season. Six players on the Eagles defense had two or more interceptions. You obviously being one of those veteran leaders for the team. How would you say you stepped up as that leader to help get these other players increase their productivity to where they were able to read the passing lanes as well as you can?
I just say being more of a vocal leader because coming in we just got a new DC in like late July, early August. We just got a new DC, so this whole defense was just new. So just having being an older guy, got been in the program, just buying in, and then the other guys seeing me buy in, they knew they wanted to produce the same product as I was producing. So just like being more of a vocal leader, having them guys believe in themselves more.
Mhm. There you go. And you just mentioned coaching change. You're a veteran to the program. You've been there for the previous 5 years. Obviously, this past season, new head coach in Jason Woodman, who came in with some high expectations for yourself, Ryan Up, who I've had on in the past, as well as the other veteran guys on the team. What was your initial conversations with Coach Woodman as far as his expectations for you, and how would you say you made good on those expectations?
I think his expectations of me would just come in, be a leader on defense. He was new. He was new to us, and we were new to him. So just come in being a leader on the defense, somebody that they heard about, probably seen the film about, just hoping that he could do exactly what I did the year before for him. And I feel like I produced a good enough for him this past season.
There you go. And you definitely did produce for your team. We talked about those stats, talked about what you did this past season. And I gotta say, you made some big time plays just like you did in 2023. And that leads me into my next segment called Make That Play. In this segment, nice little highlight reel shows off the best of what you did this past season. And I have my top three plays that you did this past year from what I could find. You sent me some highlights. I appreciate that. Got to look at what you did. But I do want to ask you, you're the guy on the field, you're the one making these plays. What was your top highlight from this past season?
Probably the game winning interception at homecoming this past year. just because of the fact we haven't won homecoming at Morehead for like the last couple of seasons, and then that was probably the best feeling this past season. Just being able to get a game interception, then winning homecoming, that was a good feeling.
There you go. And that was against Presbyterian, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, you and I are thinking alike because that's what I have at number one as well. That interception was definitely my top play that you had this past season, mainly because you could see how you were reading the passing lanes. I saw you shift over a couple of feet, following one of the receivers to cover your zone, cover your area, whatever the scheme you guys were in. And then the moment you saw where the quarterback was looking, you made a beeline right to the receiver that was supposed to get the ball, except he didn't catch it. You did. You came out and you used that high IQ to kneel down the ball and win the game, seal it for your team. So great job for yourself on that play. Number two, I had that interception against St. Thomas that you ended up sending me where it looked like the ball was getting bobbled around by three or
Yeah.
four different guys, and you managed to keep track of it and came up with it for a big interception for Morehead State. And then number three, I have the fumble recovery that you had against Eastern Kentucky, I believe it was. High level awareness. One of the other players for the other team was getting ready to fall on it, and you ended up shoving him out of the way. Said, "No, I'm getting this ball back for our team." So big time plays made by a big time player, and you showcased your ability to defend the passing lanes in 2023 with all of those interceptions that you had. And you mentioned before, you're a higher name on these scouting reports that opponents are looking at. How would you say that affected your game to where now, okay, they're not going to be throwing in my direction as much? How do I adapt? How do I continue to produce for my team?
Yeah, I would say that was probably like early in the season that was a bigger problem for myself mentally because the first two games a lot of the team wasn't throwing my way and I feel like I wasn't being able to help the defense out by like getting interceptions or getting pass breakups. But just talking to my older brother and my dad, we were saying like just take one play at a time. The big plays are gonna come. Just take it one play at a time, and then when it's like time to make a play, make it happen.
There you go. And your production helped the overall defense do what they did. You guys ended up going on a three-game win streak where you guys gave up no more than 7 points in each game. Actually had 5 games on the season as a whole, allowing no more than 7 points. What would you say really clicked for the defense throughout this past season to where you guys were able to hold off your opponents to basically only one touchdown, if that?
We just bought into our coach Truelove, our defense coordinator. We just bought into his philosophy, his game plan, and just bend don't break mentality.
And there you go. And now obviously you headed out of Morehead State, you're going to be playing for Eastern Illinois this upcoming season, but those 5 years really did help mold you into the player that you are, obviously. How do you look back at your career with Morehead State, having all the accomplishments and what you did for that program? What does that all mean to you?
Means a lot to me. Like I that place holds a special place in my heart. I was able to get my degree from there, make a lot of good friendships, like friendships that probably last forever, and then play and then develop as a football player and like grow as a man. So it holds a special place in my heart.
There you go, man. And I know it's always hard for any player to enter that transfer portal because you never know who's going to be reaching out, what offers are coming your way. And you obviously took that chance on yourself, bet on yourself. And I'm sure you had a certain expectation in mind of what you wanted from your next destination. What were those expectations that you were looking for, and how did Eastern Illinois meet those requirements?
I would just say like going into the portal, going into the portal was a big like something that I wasn't used to, like because a lot of people I know who went to the portal, but like I never thought about going to the portal before. But like just going in was like it's time to just bet on myself and then see what could come out of what good could come out of it. And good some very a lot of good things have come out the portal. So I'm blessed to like have an opportunity to go to another school and play. But things I was looking for were just like a place that would be able to help me get to the next level, like play at a professional level. Play some great competition and just like yeah, just help me get to the next level, play some good competition.
Yeah, and Eastern Illinois definitely can do that. And I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, the teammate that you had in 2023, his name escapes me, but that tied you in interceptions on the team, he ended up going to Eastern Illinois as well, right?
Oh yeah, Caleb, yes.
Yes, that's right, Caleb. And I'm sure he's a high caliber player. You're a high caliber player. Ryan Up, who I had on last year, one of your guys' receivers at Morehead State, obviously a high caliber player there. And I love having big time guys like yourselves on the podcast every single year. This is your second year on, and something that I didn't get to do with you last season that I'm doing this season, another new segment that I like to call Who's Up Next. In this segment, you just give me some names that I should look out for, look at their stats, their numbers, reach out to them to have on the podcast this year, next year, and so on. Two rules to this. First rule of which is whoever you recommend, you got to help me get them on, got to help me reach out to get them on the podcast. And number two, you got to give me at least one name where they were not a teammate of yours at Morehead State this past season.
So wait, so one person has to be not from Morehead State.
Yeah, that wasn't a teammate of yours this past season.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. Um, for the first person, I would say was the my other safety, Matthew McClellan. I usually say his name wrong, but this past season he had a great season, like a phenomenal season. He just transferred to Southern Illinois, so that's a name that's coming up. He had a great season this past year. And then for somebody that wasn't a teammate of mine at Morehead State, I would say my one of my boys from back home. His name is Anthony Enriquez. He plays at Rowan University. He plays like a hybrid linebacker. He's gonna have a big year this year too.
There you go. All right. Those are some good names. And obviously, with them coming off the top of your head, I know they're dogs. I know they produce, especially because you obviously know the game very well with the high IQ level that you have. And you're looking to bring that to the Panthers in 2025 to lead them to a conference championship, make it to the national playoffs, all that stuff. What are your expectations heading into the 2025 season for yourself and your team overall? And how are you guys looking to attack this offseason to make those expectations happen?
I would say for as a team, the main goal is like just to win the conference, go to the playoffs, win a national championship, and be better than the year before. Personally, for me, I would say just come in, earn my job, produce, get another all conference award, and hopefully my when I play on the field from this upcoming season, get some looks from like professional leagues, see where that takes me.
hmm Now, what would you say? Obviously, FCS players aren't really looked at as much as like these FBS guys from Alabama, Georgia, some of these higher caliber teams. But you guys obviously have those high caliber skill sets. I've interviewed multiple FCS players that should hopefully get drafted in the 2025 NFL draft coming up. What would you say are some of the skill sets that you have in your game that these NFL scouts should be looking at during this upcoming season?
I would say just my IQ level, my awareness for like being around the ball, knowing where the ball, studying quarterbacks like eyes and shoulders and where when they're gonna throw the ball, and just yeah, that's pretty much it.
There you go, man. Definitely can't wait to see what you do for the Panthers this upcoming season. If it's anything like what you did at Morehead State, there's going to be a whole lot of interceptions on your stat sheet by the end of the season. So keep doing what you do, man. Beyond happy to have you on. You're always a great personality to have on the podcast, and keep up your good work.
Thank you for having me.